All right, so I was for 15 years a full-time pastor, but I've got tired of just working on Sundays. Now I've got a full-time job. And so, yeah, I'm the last 6 years full-time doing executive coaching. And I want to speak this evening with you on becoming a strength-based practice. I realize there's a spelling mistake there. There's a GTHS. So please, for those guys that's very analytical, you probably already picked it up. Okay. I want to, please, if there's any questions, it's very interactive. Please ask questions and feel free to come up with, I'm going to give some time also if the time allows us. And please forgive me for not speaking very good English. Okay. At least I know I'm better than my mother. Because the only words my mother can say in English is brandy and Coke. All right. That's not me. I can say a bit more than brandy and Coke, but I love my mum. Okay, so I want to speak to you regarding becoming a strength-based coach or a strength-based practice. And the wonderful thing about becoming a strength-based practice, it starts with you. And the more I work with CEOs and executives, I realize that they get to a stage in their life, probably you as a dentist or in your profession, you're getting to a stage in your life where you probably find that you lost a lot of energy. You do a lot of things so well and you're very successful, but something is missing. And I actually want to take you on a journey just to explain to you why these things happen. You probably know this thing about midlife crisis. The science revealed that the midlife crisis is between the age of 38 to 52. Okay, so at that stage, what do you say? It doesn't happen to dentists. Not to dentists. Okay, well, so what makes dentists so special? They got like probably maybe 2 midlife crises. Okay, right. So, but the point is, if you really go into the psychology of midlife crisis, it's actually where you get to the point where you probably see a lot of people when they hit 38, 52, they become very dissatisfied with their work. And today I actually want to explain to you why and get back into that passion of you and explain to you why you can actually regain that and get into your strength. So it starts with becoming a strength-based practice. Now, this is a wonderful little book. It's called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. So what they did, they actually studied people that were dying. And the top 2 regrets that people on their bed busy dying is this 2. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. And the second most regret thing about people on their deathbed is, I wish I had let myself be happier. Now, if you go to that, I wish I had the courage to live in life true to myself and not what others expect of me, that's actually sometimes the midlife crisis. Because in Afrikaans, we got this saying, there's a word called gatvol. And I don't know what's the English called gatwool. But anyway, that direct translated. But so you're getting to the stage, especially in midlife, where you're actually just being tired. That's the midlife crisis. We're just being tired of someone you know you're not. And that's when people do live with regrets because they know that's not who they are. Now, I want to actually take you on a journey, and this is where I want to get to the strengths, to actually just read with you, there's a strong connection between who people are and what they do best. There's a strong connection between what people do best and how they feel. And there's a strong connection between how people feel and how they perform. And I want to take this as a basis to say actually, one of the greatest things that you can actually help yourself, doesn't matter what age you are, is to find your strengths in life. Now friends, why do I think it's so amazing to find your strengths? Because I remember when my mum and dad used to look at my school results, they go like, Pieter, hierdie wiskunde, maths, what's going on here? 48. Okay, so, and then, and my Afrikaans and my languages were always fine. But the most emphasis went on what? What's wrong with me? And friends, many of us around this table or around this room know that most people, where's the emphasis? The emphasis is not on what you're good at. The emphasis is on what you're lacking. And when I go into business, people can tell me very, very clearly what they're not good at. But if I ask them what is their strengths, they say, I don't know. So the point is, if you want to become a strength-based practice, it starts with you. It starts with you need to find your strengths. Now, here's the question. You guys are very clever, but please answer me. What's the opposite of a strength? Well done. What's the difference between a strength and a weakness? Attitude. What else? What's the difference between a strength and a weakness? Let me help you. The most common answer people give, what's the difference between a strength and a weakness? Most people will say a strength is what I'm good at, and a weakness is what I'm not good at. Wrong. That's not the difference. Because most people are brilliant in their weaknesses. Why? Because they fix it. Eventually, I nearly got a distinction in maths. But what's the difference? The difference between a strength and a weakness, you need to listen very carefully to this. A strength strengthens you. A weakness, although you're good, weakens you. That's the difference. So a lot of people are very successful in what they do, but they don't realize that the same thing that makes them successful is the same thing that makes them so feeling weak. And that's where we talk about people who've got passion. It's very simple, my friends. People that has passion for life, passion for their practice, passion for their job. Why do they have passion? It's very simple. They're in their strengths. Why? Because it strengthens them. A lot of people, like I said, is brilliant in their weaknesses, but they don't realize that's sometimes the midlife crisis in a lot of people's life. Because they get to a stage where they're highly successful, but they're highly demotivated. Why? Because they are tired of fixing the things that's wrong with me. Now, the question I want to ask you, and this is like very coaching questions. So I want to find your strengths because I want to help you to become a strength-based practice. It starts with you. Do you find your strengths? So strengths got signs. So I use the acronym, the word sign, to describe what a strength is. And I'm going to ask these questions, especially, and make it very practical towards yourself in your practice. So the word sign, so the first sign of a strength, and here very clearly this, the first sign of a strength, how do I know if I'm in my strengths? When I'm in my strengths, listen to this, I feel successful. Not I am successful, I feel successful. Now friends, I've played very serious at one stage. I was a professional sportsman. I used to play very serious cricket in my life. I was relatively successful, but you know what? I never felt successful. But if I can stand and talk to people, or you know what's the number one fear of people in life? It's public speaking. Or what?
But achieving your goals? Or
Yeah. But the point is what I want to make is, if you want to achieve your goals, is what are those goals that you naturally feel successful, that you can achieve them? That's a sign of a strength. So if I think to you, if I've asked you in your practice, what are those things that when you do it, you probably feel the most successful to do it? You just got a natural feeling of being confident. But I remember when playing cricket, it's like, although I was successful, I used to fight myself because I always were doubting myself. But I never felt success. But the interesting thing, although public speaking is one of the fears in my life, I feel successful tonight standing here. Why? It's a sign of a strength. The I stands for intuitive. That's another sign of a strength. So how do I know if I'm in my strengths? Remember, it's the thing that strengthens you, but you probably find another sign is there are certain things that you just do intuitively. You can't help yourself. You'll just do it. So if I sometimes look at some of you guys, what are those things, or if I can ask you in your practice, what are those things that you just do intuitively? I remember in the beginning of my marriage, my wife could never understand it because one of the things that I just intuitively do is I talk to strangers. So this guy, what's going on with you? You don't even know these people. Now you're talking to them. Leave them alone. What's wrong with you? Then she realized one of my strengths is meeting new people. I remember as a pastor, I was standing on the pulpit, I could see, hey, those are new people, eh? And I couldn't wait to do the blessing, to go, hello, ek is Pieter, welcome. And I do it intuitively. That's another sign of operating in your strengths. Some of you guys will probably intuitively, you will sometimes just do certain things. So one of the great questions I want to ask you to know if you're in your strengths, so what do you do intuitively? Another sign of a strength is growth. So friends, we want to get better. We want to develop. And the Gallup Research organization that I'm affiliated with, and you probably know the Gallup organization in America, the Gallup poll, the huge, big on science, says that you will grow the most where? When you are in your strengths. Now, Pieter had maths at school. His average was 48. So my mum used to sell Anikitron. Remember those clean place that the women use for their skin? And I remember all my mum's profit selling Anikitron products went to Pieter's extra classes in maths to get him from 48 to 53. And my mum and dad said, well done, my son. You're a D, not an E anymore. Eventually, I got to university. The first time in my life, I'm cumming subjects. I cummed Greek and Hebrews. I cummed my master's. I cummed my PhD. I'm reading more than the average person. I never used to read. Why? Because I'm in my strengths. And if you're in your strengths, you want to learn. You want to get better. Because why? It strengthens you. But what do? We learn people. Okay, you good with this? But we will send you on a course. And they call it in the corporate life your so-called development areas. I call it the areas to go from very bad to not so bad. But when you're in your strengths, you go from good to great to excellence. And read the new book of Daniel Pink called Drive. What motivates and drives people? He says one of the big things that drive people is what? Mastery. And if you're in your strengths, you want to get to mastery. That's another sign. What is your strength? You probably find that's the area that you want to grow the most in. Okay. Now, doctor, you got a pen here for me. Can you write your name for me, please? Why are you using your right hand?
I'm right-handed.
No. Use your left hand, please. Leave your right hand. Now, can I ask you a question? Where do you feel the most successful?
On my right.
Right hand. What does she do intuitively? Doesn't even think about it. She grabbed the pen with her right hand. Where will she write the neatest and the fastest? The right hand. Now, friends, it's interesting. I am also right-handed. If I play tennis, I'll hit right-handed. But the interesting thing, if I run and want to jump, I use my left leg to launch myself. So what's my dominant foot? Left. I've got two boys. When they're on these little scooters, you see Armand, the oldest one, right foot is on the scooter, so he's pushing away with his left foot. Reinhard, the little one, is the other way around. It's just natural. So where will they all develop? In that natural strength. So why do we always want to fix people? Why do you want to become someone that you know you're not? And the interesting thing, I did this exercise this morning with Michael and John. If you look at my eyes through that hole, you probably see which eye? This left eye or the right eye? Right eye. Why does he see it? Because I'm right eye dominant. And if he starts whispering, I will do a very interesting thing. I will go like this. Sorry?
Left ear.
Because I'm left ear dominant. It's amazing that we don't realize those are those natural things that you've been made to be. Develop that. That's where you will grow the most. And the N, it stands for need. So friends, when you are in your strengths, it's another sign. There's a constant need to repeat the activity. So if I can ask you, in your practice, what are those things that you do that you just naturally want to do it again? You actually don't mind repeating it. So typical me, I'm meeting new people. So when I meet new people, immediately there's a need to do it again. Why? Because there's a need to be in my strengths. But again, a lot of you guys do a lot of things, and after you've done it, you don't feel to do it again. I remember after the cricket season was finished, I was like, oh, thank you. It's 5 months off. But when I sometimes speak, I will go from this lecture, the need will be so big that I will do it again and again and again, and tomorrow I will do it again. Why? Because it keeps strengthening me. Okay, now question. How do you get there? That's the $1 million question. You get there with 3 ingredients. A strength is made up of 3 separate ingredients. The first one is talent, the next one is knowledge, and the third one is skills. Those are the 3 ingredients to get to a strength. It's like coffee. If you make coffee, a coffee actually consists of 3 ingredients. Beans, quality beans, because life's too short to drink cheap coffee. Milk, and hot water. A strength is the same. Talent, knowledge, and skills. Now, a very important question. Which one of those, they're all important, but which one of those 3 is the most important? Can I help you? It's the most important because I can't teach you it. Which one is that? Talent. Now, you know what's the sad thing when I work in schools, and I got the privilege to work the last couple of months with the Western Cape Education Department, because I live in Paul, so those guys that love wine, drink alcohol and wine. Okay, all right. So the sad thing in the education system, where's the emphasis? Knowledge. What's the sad thing, what I do in businesses? They just impart knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. If the knowledge and the skills is not aligning with your natural talents, you're never going to get to a strength. So why do we try to teach children ball sense? I'm going to teach you ball sense. And when she gets it right on this 203rd ball you throw to him, catch it. Oh, well done. You've seen it reg gekry. You got it. And then drops the 205th one. Because it's not the natural talent. You can give all the knowledge and skills. I can give her all the knowledge and skills to right, left hand. She'll get it. What's going to happen? She's not going to feel successful. She's not going to get better at it. And the moment I look away, there's no need to keep doing it. She'll use the other hand. Because there's a need. Because it's a strength. Okay. Now, friends, the problem is, and that's where I come in the type of work that you want to become a strength-based practice, you need to find your talents. And talents is not something I can teach you. There's a test that I use to define your talents. But I've got a very, very simplistic thing, and I want to jump. It's called who's done their Strengths Finder? Some of the people around this table. Now, if you want to do a great tool that's going to change your life, and please talk to me, I'll find your Strength Finder profile. But people don't know it measures your strengths. It measures your talents. It doesn't measure your strengths. You need to take that talent and give it knowledge and skills. Now, here's the famous, I had the privilege 2 years ago to go to Omaha, Nebraska, where this guy, he was the main guru who designed this thing. That was the start of positive psychology. So he was Donald Clifton, and he says this amazing thing. He says, what will happen when you think about what's right with people rather than fixating what's wrong with them? Now, I want to quickly just explain to you one of the earliest research that he did on children, reading speed per minute. So what he did, he was a professor at Lincoln, Nebraska University. That's how the whole talent thing started. So what he did, he measured 1,000 students, average reading speed per minute. So in that group, the majority of the students read 90 words a minute. But there was a handful of students who just naturally read very quick. They read 350 words a minute. Now, it's very simple. Think about international cricketers. You get a lot of good cricketers, and you get an AB. Man, this guy is he's amazing. He reverse sweeps someone that bowls 140 k's an hour over for 6. He plays around. He's just got a natural talent. Human fof. They're just so very good. Natural talent. So Clifton says, put these two groups on the same reading speed course. And after the course, measured them again. It was a month-long reading speed course. And when they came back, the group of 90 went to 150. It's like Peter's maths, from 48 to 53. Well done. You're a D now, my son. Baie beter. I echo, man. I delta like Peter. And then the 350 group came back, and they went to this. So what's the point? You will always grow the most in what you're naturally good at. I want to help you find your natural talent. Define that and enhance that with knowledge and skills. Now, I've got a very, very simple talent test, and it's very accurate. So we're not going to have time to do your strength finder, but this is amazingly accurate. It's called, so before I do that, we just quickly want to define, I'm going to quickly jump to this and to the test. It's called a talent survey. Okay, so I want to ask you to look at these 4 circles. Which of these 4 circles, this thing is unbelievable. It's a new test that I've discovered, designed by the Neuro Leadership Institute in America. And you're going to see how they're going to define your natural talent. So which one of these circles appeals the most to you? Is it number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4? Don't think too much, especially the analytical people. Just choose a circle, because it's got everything to do with your eyes and your brain pathways. Just choose a circle. Is it number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4? And you're going to see, it's going to measure your natural talent. You're going to see how accurate this thing is. Okay, can I ask you, who says number 1? Hands up. Okay. Who says number 2? Hands up. Okay. Who says number 3? Okay. And who says number 4? Right. So you see how accurate it is. Unbelievable. Okay. Who says number 1? Hands up. Look at this. It's like unbelievable spot on. Strong executors who get things done. You know, they naturally just get the job done. Right. Who says number 2? Those are the people that strong strategic thinkers who generates lots of new ideas. So those are the guys that constantly think about ways I can make my practice better, innovative reading, research, those kind of things. Who says number 3? It's interesting. Influence, impact players who motivates and inspires people. That's their natural talent that they have. Right, so I call them impact players. They got this amazing ability with this guy that's mouth is dead to sell him. It's one of his products while he's got. They can impact the oak. Okay. The last one, who says number 4? Hands up. Hands up. Now this thing is just for those guys. Just stand up. It's important that you guys see how accurate this thing is. Just stand up for me, please. Please, you need to stand up. You said number 4. Okay, you probably see these like these. Some of these guys are Afrikaans also. That's how accurate this thing is. And that's the boss, eh? Okay, friends, it's rubbish. It's just to get your attention. All right, or maybe it's true. It's your talent. You never know. You never know. Sex and booze may be your talent. Okay, all right. I want to do this thing in the church. My wife says, please don't do it. I don't want to get one day. I'm going to do it. Okay, because I know all those holy people will choose the last circle. Other day I was working in a group, 24 people, only 2 men. Charles and Barry, Pioneer Foods, Paul. And of those 2, the only 2 that choose the last circle was Barry and sy chom. Hilarious. Okay, all right, so that's true. Okay, so I want to just joke with you quickly regarding that, but my friends, is you got talents. There are natural things that you are already good at. If you want to get a strength-based practice, find out what your natural talents. Now, Gallup define a talent as this. They define a talent as a natural pattern, a recurring pattern of what? Thoughts, feelings, and behavior. So if we measure your talents, and if you want to talk to me afterwards how to get to your talents, I'll explain to you. It's very simple and it's very profound. if I see your first, there are 34 of these talents. Now, when I coach you to get into your strengths, I will coach you on your first 10 talents. Why? Because they're your most recurring talents, recurring that you just naturally do well. That's how you think, that's how you feel, and that's how you behave. But here's the thing, it's only a talent if you apply it productively. And when I work in companies, I realize that the natural talent, which is actually the person's strengths, is most of the time his weakness. Why? Because he misapplies it. So someone like me, one of my natural talents is called achiever. And some of you guys will also be high achievers. High achievers, probably you find that you struggle to stop working. Your days are just so full and you actually find that you struggle to say no. Now, my wife, that's my number one talent. It's called achiever. So what's the biggest fights in our marriage? When are you going to stop working? You always working. What's wrong with you? And then I used to have a go at it and says, but your dad was always sitting. Huh? You want someone like that? Yeah, but at least he had time for us. You know, those kinds of things happen. So this is a great tool for a marriage. Great. Why? Because that's the biggest fights in a marriage. Why do you think like that? What's wrong with you? Oh, why do you feel like that, man? And you do it again. No. That's when you sometimes misapply it. Okay, so, and as we go into this coaching process, I will actually show you also that they actually define a talent's got a balcony and a basement. So one of the things to find your strengths is to use your talent on the balcony. That's the right application, and not in the basement. Okay, so some of you guys, I'll quickly show you some of the talents. You probably have a talent called input, which is a research talent. So the basement is that you do a lot of research. The balcony is that you're very good at doing research. But the basement, you do research. I don't know why you do it, because there's no need for it. You're just collecting information that's irrelevant. That's misapplication. Okay. All right. So I want to quickly get you guys there. We've done that. You see how accurate that is. So Gallup measures 34 talents. Now those talents lies in... Isak, jy het jou nou gedoen, nee? Okay. Those talents lies in 4 domains. So what you need to understand is that you need to know when you execute, which are the natural talents that you use to get the job done. Then this is your influencing talents. That's the talents that when you work with patients, that's the talents how you impact people. I'm very strong there. That's a very dominant domain for me. You can see you can see my communication is very, very high. My competition is number 2. My maximizer is number 3. Those are like influencing talents. So I can easily impact people. It happens naturally for me. And these are the relationship talents. So you need to find out how you build relationships also with your patients, with the people that works with you, in your strengths. And these are the strategic thinking talents. That's where you the whole time think about what's possible. New ideas, new ways. Okay, but again, you need to find your dominant talent. So I will plot your first 10, and then they will show me where you influence, how you execute, how you influence, how you build relationship, how you're thinking. Okay, so let's talk about quickly the talents. Let's start with the first one called adaptability. Now, if you high in adaptability, and I was like thinking the whole time, how would a dentist operate if he's high on adaptability? You probably find that you hate planning. You do things always in the moment. You're brilliant with crises. And you probably find that routine kills you. You probably find that if you have a practice where it's not very flexible and where there's not a lot of change going on, you probably find you get weakened. But when there's like constant change, where there's an environment where I can adapt the whole time, when I'm not set to a pattern, then it strengthens me. So a lot of people that's got adaptability, you know, you probably find there's a lot of change in their life. And it's fine. That's your strength. Now, my wife's got this. In the beginning, used to crack me up. So last year, we as a family, we're in New York. And Peter, he's got adaptability is low with him. And Peter's focus is very, very high. So today, we're going to take Central Park. Focus. We start at the Apple store and we go. Peter's got competition. So my wife, I walk, kom, nou gaan ons. She says, wag. Wait for me, please. So she comes here, and I go, she says, walk next to me, please. But competition people always wants to win. So when you hire in competition talent, you probably will compare your practice with the best practices in the country. And that's fine, that's your strength. You must do it, because that's how you become a strength-based practice. But my wife's high in adaptability. So here we walk down Fifth Avenue. She goes, oh, Peter, kyk, look here. Gee, this is that place on television. She's adapt. Okay, gaan nou in. That's how adaptability people operate. Okay, so you probably find that they can focus for very short periods of time. And the sad thing with these children, they get all put on Ritalin. There's nothing wrong with them. Okay? So when you've got adaptability, don't use Ritalin. Just get it practice where there's lots of change going on. Okay? The next talent is called context. So if you're high on context, these are the people that will always think about the past. They will do research on what? About what the dentists did those days that's still working today. You get into their practice, there will always be like old photos or old things. It will be like an old chair or like something that's coming from but they love it. And when you talk so there's a young dentist coming in. So he says to the old dentist, the more experienced, who's got context as talent, he says, Wim, I'm going to do this. He says, don't do that. I've tried it. It's not working. I've tried it. Trust me. Trust me. It's not working. I've done it. Now that youngster needs to understand this is this strength. He's done it. I was working at a spinal clinic, and my time is running out. And the spinal surgeon, his previous colleagueship broke up. Why? Because his context talent's number one. And this new guy comes in, he says, I want to do the operation like this. He says, please don't do it. It's not going to work. I've done it 5 years ago. And this guy just keep ignoring him, and he's keep making the same mistakes what he did 5 years ago, and that's where this whole practice just falls apart. Not understanding that. The next one is called learner. So if you're high on learner, what is your strength? Consistent exposure to new dental information. Lots of reading. Lots of going on courses. Find yourself constant time to read. It's probably why you don't have energy, because you know you love reading, but you're not learning. So if you're high on learner, build into your practice time to get to places where you can learn about new stuff, especially new stuff. You get someone like input. If you're high in input, these are the researchers, these are the professors at university. They collect stuff. They Google. Google and them are like battery and torch. They just love collecting information. So what is your strength? If the patient struggles with something, listen, just go, you tell your assistant, look down there, between all those piles of books, get that book there. You probably find your study is full of books. You can't get rid of them. You collect. You do research. You don't delete your emails. You've got thousands of emails in your inbox. And you say, one day. One day. What do you think is the basement of input? They're hoarders. They never throw anything away. Their cars consistently standing on the driveway because the garage is full. That's input people. And that's how you need to. How do you use that talent for becoming a strength? That's it's not me. My wife is high in input. Goodness me. If I want to get her going, I'll just ask her, Google it for me, please. It's like 2 seconds, there's it. I was yesterday at Macy's School Bloemhof in Stellenbosch. We did the same thing there. So the library teacher says, if any one of you want information, just please let me know, I'll get it for you. Why? It's their strength. Another talent is called ideation. I coached John this morning. Ideation. These are the guys that, oh man, the dentists, that they come up with the weirdest ideas. I'm going to do like a channel through the canal wortel. What is that then? What do you call that thing? Channel carrot. What? It's not that. Okay. I'm going to do it through the nose. I heard about this like technique. So, and I'm joking now, I'm making it very extreme, but these are the guys that you probably find if you're high in ideation, there's a constant need to come up with new ideas. Thinking outside the box, that's your strength. And connecting with very creative dentists that does things not the ordinary way, but completely innovative, creative. Those are the guys that's probably high in ideation. Okay. Let's go move this way. Let's go to restorative. If you're high in restorative, what is your strength? You're brilliant as a dentist with problem solving. You're brilliant at figuring out what's wrong. You're not intimidated with pain or dysfunction. So if you're high in restorative, you are a natural fixer of things. It's not me. Because the opposite of restorative is talent called maximizer. If you're high in maximizer, what kind of dentist will you be? You will be a dentist who's already good at something, and you keep polishing that thing to make it better and better and better and better. So you will probably specialize in an area, say either bleaching or reconstruction, but you'll take the person that's already good and you will fine-tune the person to get to the best results. That's maximizer. Restorative people will fix it, that's okay. Maximizers will take it the step further. It's important to understand that's your strength. And then significance. Those are the dentists. You probably find that the high in significance, they're very like trendy. The haar is altyd netjies. Okay? They also got to practice in like a very significant area. And you probably find that their patience is very like upper class. Niche. That's a niche. That's your strength. If you're high in significance, build a practice in an affluent area. And your client's going to be these hugs, or friends, or women, whatever. Okay. So, and you probably find that these guys charge also like that's up there. But they're there. And because they wear that clothes, also that price is there. Okay. All right. And if we don't understand them, we call them snobs. There's nothing. That's their strength. That's their strength. And then I want to finish off with discipline. Those are the people that love a practice where every day it's the same routine. So they will probably wash their hands, do the same thing. But let's take a step back. They will start the day every morning at 5:30. For the last 20 years, that's the time they get up. Holidays, whatever. Then they got a special routine. So they go to the bathroom, and then they turn the tap on. And while they turn the tap on, they will start brushing their teeth. Okay, but eventually when I get to the practice with that routine, they've got a routine also at the practice. So the lady, that assistant needs to understand, you go, okay, I'll say. And they got specific routines that they keep. And don't bugger up their routine. They get upset. Don't surprise them. Listen, there's a crisis. We need to change. What? Change? No. No. I don't like change. I love routine. I love my structured environment. And that's your strength. You probably find that you're a bit OCD also. And that's you. Okay. So friends, I want to finish off. I think I am is probably the two most beautiful words in the world, because, and that's why talent's so important. I am this, I am that, because what you put after them shapes your reality. And that's why it's so important. If you want to come a strength-based practice, understand who you are. And this is what's a beautiful thing about the lion. No matter what the economy of the jungle is, I can never eat grass. It's not pride, it's just who I am. So if you want to become a strength-based practice, that's the lion's strength is to catch the buck. And you got your strengths, and please find out what they are. And this is a thing about Warren Buffett. Oh, this other day I was like watching this thing on Warren Buffett. You know, he reads between 700 and 1,000 pages a day. Okay. He's got the same routine for the last, he's like over 80 now. So you probably find that he's got a lot of learner, a lot of input, a lot of discipline. That's his success. He sticks with that routines in his life. But that's not me. But Warren Buffett gave $24 billion to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. 24 billion. I'm like Zuma now. Yeah. But anyway, you understand what I say, Mr. What's going on with that, Oak? Huh? Goodness me, we need to, let's leave it. Okay. They can, so he gives $24 billion away to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And at the press conference, the media, media ask him, why did you give it away? He says, he gives that answer, they can give it a better way than I can. Bill and Melinda Gates, they can give it a better way. And then he said something that shocked the world, and I think it's profound. He said, besides, charity isn't fun for me. Running my business day to day is fun for me. Charity just isn't something I enjoy thinking about every day. Who says that? Someone that knows his strength. And I remember, if I take that to my own life, I remember as a pastor, I used to hate to go to hand out food to the poor people. It used to drain me. And then the people said, but you have to do it. Everyone needs to do it. And then I said, okay, let's make a deal. You go to the rich people and get the food that needs to get it. No. I don't love asking. I said, I love asking. So that's the deal. Okay, because that's my strength, I can ask. But you can hand it out. Besides, charity isn't fun for me. And that's why I want to ask you to understand that's who you are. It's okay. Find your strengths. And I want to finish off with this clip. Do I have enough time? How much is it? Another 5 minutes. I want to show you this clip. And again, remember what we started on, regrets. Don't live with regrets. Don't live with things that you one day say, I wish I did this. I want to show you this clip. And I hope it's going to play. Let's just enjoy this. It's fine.
Go in for it. Better late than never, dear. I've had a great life. 7 kids. Hard times, but the happiest days of my life. Never regrets.
They're ready for you to do this, yes? Yes, give it a bash? Yes. Just on that one more, just there. This one there. You want to take you on? Aye. Come on, give your hand then. Ready? See you.
Janie, cut
And if you don't mind me asking, Janie, how old are you?
80.
80. Not very good. And Janie, why have you auditioned for the show?
Well, I like singing, so my friend says go for it.
Alright, what are you going to think, Janie?
No regrets.
Alright, good luck.
No regrets. No, we will have no regrets. As you leave, I can say love was king, but we're only a day. No regrets. We will have no regrets. Why delay? Why delay? Don't fall away. Simply call me a day. Even though love has Where have you been? What? Just getting my wee pubs and clubs.
Pubs and clubs.
I brought you on and you were standing there. I didn't know what to expect. I did not expect you to have a set of lungs on you like that. I mean, that voice came from, you're so tiny, you have such a massive voice. It was spectacular.
Janie, how many years have you waited to do that?
I'm just thankful I am here tonight.
Okay, moment of truth, Janie. Here's yes or no. Oh, absolutely amazing. Amanda?
I think the royal family would love you, so I'm going to say
Janie? 3,003 yeses.
She died a year later. No regrets. And that's what I wish for every one of you. Don't live with regrets. Be who you are. And I want to finish off with this quote of the movie Lost in Translation. Bob Harris says, "The more you know who you are and what you want, the less you let things upset you." From my side, become a strength-based practice. It starts with you. Find your talents, give it the knowledge and skills, and be who you are. May God bless every one of you. Keep doing your great work. Thank you.